In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone.
Welcome back. Final segment of the show, Tech Zone. Hope you enjoyed us talking to our friends at the Consumer Technology Association, ADT, and their DIY piece of innovation that they talked about and unleashed on us here at CES 2020. I wanted to end up this segment of the show, this portion of our live coverage today, talking about some radio veterans that I met when I first got into the radio business. And these two individuals really helped me out when it came to me getting my first job in radio. Just being there allowed me to watch them, and just their attitude towards me, just being a news production assistant at the time. And they are joining me out here at CES 2020, helping me out with coverage, and I'm so excited to have them both on with me. So let's bring them on without any further delay. Let's welcome to the stage and to the show. Larry Carroll, award-winning news anchor, and Paul Lowe, award-winning reporter. Legendary Larry Carroll. Yes.
That old. I'm not that old.
Larry and Paul, welcome. How you guys doing?
Great, man.
Absolutely wonderful.
Happy to be here with you.
Hey, it's great to see you guys. And, you know, I want to let the audience know something funny. I know when we first worked together at KFWB, what was your first impression, both of you guys, when you guys first saw me? You're like, who's this cat right here? You go first, Paul.
Well, you know, I thought you were hungry. You were good at what you do. You know, I know they worked you guys a lot for the position, and I've always been a person that if someone's working that job, it's my job to help them keep that dream alive. You don't want to step on anybody's dream. I mean, no matter what your title is in radio or television, you got to be kind to people. Never, ever be rude. That was one of the first lessons I ever learned, because I started off working for someone who was big in entertainment, and that was rule number one. Of course, my mom taught me that same thing. But, you know, you got to help people visualize their dream.
That's so true. And Larry?
And I'll tell you, you have to understand, I walked into KFWB on September 11th, 2001.
Yes, you did.
I was retired from television at that point and was working in business, and of course they started flying airplanes into buildings, and nobody knows what to do, and all I knew how to do was the news. And dear Chris Quimby was news director at KFWB on that day, and she was a friend of mine, and I called up and I said, hey Chris, I'm sitting up here in Chatsworth and I don't know what to do. You guys need any help? She says, you'd come down here? You'd come down? I said, yeah, I'll come down there. And we probably worked,
3 straight days.
3 straight days.
Non-stop.
And on the second day, they asked me, did I want to stay and anchor the news? And I said, abso-cotton-pickin'-lutely. And a dear friend of mine that I met and built Channel 9 KCAL with, Tracy Savage, was already in the fold. And I says, and I get to work with Tracy. How great could that be? And so I walked in there in the middle of the chaos of the of the beginning of the 21st century, and walked into a nest of dedicated, energetic, tireless news people who were really dedicated to giving the audience of KFWB all the information that we could verify that could help them make the decisions about what to do next. And I'll tell you, with you out there doing all the stuff, and I'm watching you bounce off the walls because they were sending you guys crazy.
Yeah.
And we were in there trying to figure out which way up was from break to break. And without the staff and the focus and the dedication and the expertise of the people in that newsroom, man, we could have died 1,000 deaths. Yeah. But we ended up kind of being heroes, and we're part of that. We're part of that class. All of us.
Good thing it was radio, because you didn't want to see the chaos.
Man!
And you remember too, like later on, even the Virginia Tech shooting.
Yeah.
We all worked that day too.
Yeah.
And it was that was like my first time of just seeing how just professional everyone was
exactly
during that day, and just how we all came together as a team to make sure that we had the news out there and really keeping people informed.
Even though it's chaos, we had to remain calm.
Absolutely.
The calmer we were, the better the information can be given to folks.
And we reassure people who are seeing chaos take place in right in front of their eyes, and we reassure people that here's the information, this is what you need to know, this is where the dangers lie, this is where dangers don't exist, and it helps people organize their lives, and you really have no idea what impact you have as a broadcaster on the people who listen to you or watch you on television when you're doing it. Since being off the air for a number of years now, I've run into, hundreds of people who know me, but I never knew them.
Oh yeah,
I never knew them. And
he's just not Larry. He's just not Larry Carroll. He's the
really?
Come on. Highest degree of declaration. Right?
Absolutely.
But what I meant to say was, I've never run into anybody who had anything negative to say. They were all grateful and thankful for what we all did for them during a time we were serving, and I really do consider that having been our public service.
Yeah, and you know what was really cool too? I remember when I first started working there, just how both of you would say hi to me. You know, being on the news production side. You know, some people had a little air about themselves, but you and Larry always treated me with respect and always said hi to me, and it really made me feel good. And they really showed me how to be in the industry, because sometimes people in the industry have this kind of air about themselves, but you both never had that. You both had that humility, and I learned a lot from that.
Yeah.
Well, we knew we couldn't do it without you. So
we made our jobs doable.
But I really, really appreciate that, and staying in contact with you guys over the years is really amazing. To have you guys with us here at CES, a lot of fun, a lot of things going on.
It is.
Oh, baby.
And I know, Paul, yesterday, you and Larry, and I believe even Teresa, you guys got a chance to go to an event that wasn't really open to the public, talking about India and India tech. So what were some of your things that kind of stuck out in your mind after that event?
Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
Well, you know, a lot of people come here looking for us to talk about things like 4K and 8K and 256 gigabytes and 5G and all of this. And I want to talk to you about Hooters. You know about Hooters, right?
I've never stepped foot in the Hooters. I don't even know what Hooter is.
Well, see, you know, you give yourself away with the verb you use. If you say Hooters is, or if you say Hooters are, we know where you stand.
You've been there, right?
Now, why would I say something to you like that? Well, there are places, in fact, everywhere, called Hooters, right? Okay, so you're familiar with Hooters. Well, there used to be a hotel on Tropicana, right across just south of the MGM, called Hooters. What we discovered last night was that Hooters is gone, and it's been replaced by a hotel called OYO.
Super cool.
Super cool. It is super cool in part because of where it originated. It originated in the mind of a young East Indian entrepreneur, and OYO was just something he said. It's like Yahoo or Google, OYO, and now they have changed it and made it an acronym for On Your Own. So they've transformed this place from Hooters to OYO, which is a much cooler place than Hooters ever was. And by the way, there's still a Hooters in there.
The restaurant.
But this was the location where the Jadeja Foundation chose to introduce a generation of new Indian entrepreneurs in tech. And I'm going to tell you, Paul, it was an uplifting experience. This is the first year out of all the years that CES has been coming to Las Vegas that India, the nation of India, has been represented in any way among any of the exhibitors or any of the technologies. And one of the things that was made clear to us last night is that up until now, India has based its economy on service rather than on products. And now that economy is coming of age because of certain institutions that have really begun to thrive there. It has begun to transform itself into a product-based economy.
Even the universities right now are changing the emphasis from just people going into, again, services and hotels. This is all about tech. It's all about tech now. And the universities specialize in training young people in how to produce things. And we all know about the call centers and how much we used to jokingly complain about it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Paul. I really don't know what you're talking about.
But now, going to India and looking at what's coming out of there now, amazing technologies. We looked at, what was it, a car last night?
Yes.
One of the cars. It's a 3-wheel vehicle. This thing is amazing.
Electric?
Yeah, you can plug it into your house to recharge. You don't have to have special adapters. 60 cents to go roughly anywhere from 60 to 100 miles. And right now, he says he didn't have any cost competitors because his price point is really low. I don't want to mention how low it is. We're not sure how much it's going to be when it gets here. But it was very impressive because it's small enough and it's economical enough for city driving, and you can park it into places that you normally couldn't. A little bit bigger than a motorcycle, but comfortable.
It's a 3-wheeler. It reminds, it's been a lot of experience in the automotive industry with 3-wheel models. And one of the things they determined early on is that it's not a good idea to have the single wheel in the front because the whole thing kind of tips over. So this one has the wheels. The 2 wheels are in the front. The trailing wheel in the back, and it will revolutionize and democratize transportation to the extent that people who couldn't afford a car suddenly now can afford motorized transportation, and motorized transportation that is from a renewable energy source. And so these kids, I speak of them as kids because I'm a legend.
They're still young. We're still young.
Have developed products that they know, and they have dedicated themselves to creating products that help people and that advance society and that are sustainable and so forth and so on, and ecologically correct. And so they presented a host of products. In fact, out of 250 young business people who are supported by the Jadeja Foundation, they brought 7 of the cream of the crop to Las Vegas, all the way from India, to present their products here on the floor of the convention for the first time, and it was impressive.
Yeah, wow. Some of the products you might not think of as being innovative, a scrub brush, but this thing is powerful, super powerful. We talked with the inventor of it, the product president. Super cleaning, super fast, super easy, because nobody likes cleaning an oven or cleaning, bathrooms. But this is a very powerful device, and you go, why would I want this? See it in action, then you understand why they need this kind of technology. It's going to help people change kitchen life.
And that's one thing I really like about CES and the innovation that we see today. It really just shows the creative minds that we have throughout the world and how they're not kind of governed by the evil empire type of thinking, where they're always thinking about profits first. But even though when you're in the business, you have to think about profits because that's how you have to,
sustain
the business. But when you talk to people who are in startups, you really feel the passion behind, and it's a need that they didn't see that they wanted to create to make sure that everyone else can really appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, you have to. I mean, if you were passionate about your project, why would you even bother to do it? You have to be. And these young people are putting products out there that you go, why didn't I think of that? Because it's so simple, yet it really, really works. A bicycle that has safety features on, a bicycle has cameras that help you to avoid traffic, tells you how fast you're going so you don't crash it.
The whole driver assist package that you can get on a Mercedes for like $5,000, whatever they charge. Now you can have that on a bicycle, okay? And it's got a little screen right there at the top of the fork, and it tells you your blind spot. Is there somebody coming out over there? Yeah. You have your navigation map right there, so you can dial in where you're pedaling to, and it just like the navigator on your car or on your phone for that matter. I mean, these are ideas that you slap your forehead and says, "Wow, why didn't anybody?
Why did I think of that?
Yeah, why did I think?" And here is a kid again, here I go, who comes from the automotive industry, who applied the technologies that he'd learned in the automotive industry to a 2-wheeled human-powered vehicle. Now, that human-powered vehicle also, by the way, gives you an electrical assist. And I asked him about, the demographics of his marketplace, because I wanted to see who he was trying to sell to, and he says, well, I'm looking at bicycle riders who are, older people, 50, 60, 70.
Yes, he did say that.
I almost knocked him out. No, but seriously, these are folks who are really thinking broadly, and they're thinking outside of their personal realm of experience and influence to the future and into demographics that are not their own, rather than folks who are just looking at the 13 and 14-year-olds and trying to figure out what video game they might want to play next.
Right.
And applying the technological solutions to make life better for all of those folks.
And what I'm understanding mostly from what's, again, the change is the emphasis on forward direction for students. Again, as you mentioned, it used to be service. You grow up, you want to work at a service job. These kids young now are wanting to do more innovative kinds of things. And it's being pushed in the universities. You go to school, what are you good at? And they emphasize that at their universities. Something maybe we can start thinking about a little bit more here.
And, and that's one of the things where we're really trying to make sure that we follow the pulse on when it comes to STEM education.
Exactly.
Well, I guess it's STEAM now because they have arts in it now. So,
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see where we're going to be at, when it comes to educating the children, even at kindergarten, with bot coding and things like that. So it's really interesting. It takes me back to when I was in school. All I did was scribble and color in kindergarten. But I would have loved to have some bots and everything, do some coding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
these kids are programming phones in the 4th grade. I mean, at age 4,
Yeah.
So it's easy for them.
it's crazy. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me and giving us some information about what happened last night at the event. Indian Tech, to find out what's going on. It's pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to having you guys back again with us, give us some more information throughout the whole week.
Sure.
And joining us.
Absolutely.
So before I let you go, what is the coolest thing you've seen thus far here at CES that you want to tell the world about?
Well, I'll tell you, the traffic. No, but aside from the traffic, just walking in to the convention floor in the Central Hall here at the Las Vegas Convention Center is an otherworldly experience brought to you by LG. They have completely refashioned the entrance to that building so that it looks like you're walking into an infinity cave underground. And they've used the new QLED screens, I believe is what they are, and they appear to be about 1/4 of an inch thick. And they've covered all the walls and the ceiling with this, and you're walking into an environment that's completely otherworldly. And then it finally opens into the convention floor, and it gives you a sense of excitement and of anticipation that you don't usually get walking into a convention floor. And if that isn't a sample of the kinds of excitement and technologies we're going to see as a consequence of this convention this year, oh my God, helmets and pressure suits, everybody. It's going to be quite a ride.
Yeah.
I got to tell you about a pillow. We travel a lot. We don't sleep a lot. There's a pillow now that prevents you or helps you not to snore. You turn the wrong way, it detects the noise, and it gently nudges your head. I mean,
I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
This is so cool, man. I was very impressed with it. It automatically shifts your head when you start to snore, and I want one of those.
Yeah.
I want one of those.
I know a couple people I'd like for them to have that,
Your Christmas list is going to get filled out early this year.
Well, Paul Lowell and Larry Carroll, thank you guys so much for joining us.
My pleasure, man.
Being a part of our coverage here at CES 2020. Looking forward to seeing what you guys have for us tomorrow as well.
You got
Absolutely.
it. Absolutely.
That was the great Larry Carroll. If you're in the LA market, you know Larry Carroll, award-winning news anchor, Channel 2, Channel 7. And I believe he was on all the networks in Los Angeles. But to have him be a part of the coverage, and also Paul Lowell. Paul, great reporter in the LA area, and working with him in Los Angeles when I first got into the business was truly amazing watching them. And to have them be a part of the coverage is truly, truly amazing. Love their insight and just chopping it up with them about working together and just being a part of CES in 2020. All right, see you tomorrow. We'll have some more great coverage here at CES 2020. Until next time, take care, folks.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone.